Hello, hello, happy Friday to you. My name is KJ Hamus, and this is our Friday evening 75-minute slow flow plus yin class. And I'm really excited to be here with you today. We're going to just do some gentle things to get into our body and then hold our yin pose maybe a little bit longer so we can open up a bit more and truly get ready for the weekend. So we're going to get started in a comfortable seat today. As you're finding that comfortable seat, I do recommend that you have a pillow, a couple of yoga blocks or yoga block equivalents. And for this, you may want the yoga blocks on either side of the mat, as you may want to use them during the more movementy part of class. And then always a blanket or a towel just in case. So finding your comfortable seat. Find a place where you can sit the spine up nice and tall without really having to strain. Might be good to sit on a block or a blanket or even a pillow just to help lift the hips slightly above the knees. Hopefully you've had a great day and are looking forward to a fabulous weekend as we come into our practice. Find a soft point for your gaze directly in front of you or on the ground, or maybe even begin to close your eyes. As we come into this space here, we take a moment to acknowledge the land that we are on. Acknowledging that this land, that we are guests on this land. Here in Washington, D.C., this land is from the Anacostan tribe. So we want to be good guests here. And then as we take on our yoga practice in asana form and movement form today, or maybe in other forms, we're reminded of the fact that yoga was a gift to us from India 5,000 plus years ago. And so this gift was codified by our black and brown yogis who sat underneath trees and in caves on the side of the roads to develop this practice, to hone this practice, so that we may practice it today. And as we practice it today, we honor them and we thank them for their contributions. And then we thank all of their descendants who have continued to contribute to the practice that we may humbly share. And they have so gratefully shared that we humbly share. As we're here, starting to come into our breath, deepening our breath, just feel your sit bones on the earth or on your towel or on your pillow. Feeling that connection grow, noting how supported you feel. Maybe feeling the knees touch the earth, your feet touch your mat, and even feeling the air above you and all around you. Let a soft smile come across your face to help relax the muscles around the eyes. And as you deepen the breath, feeling it travel all the way down to the lowest depths of the belly, let the jaw release from its hinges. Starting from the tip of the head and slowly working your way down to your feet, we'll begin taking a body scan on the left side of the body. So just noticing as you move down how just the left side of the body feels, making sure to navigate your way gently and lovingly to your fingertips, to each and every rib along the left side. And as you take this body scan on the left side, just notice the areas of tension or sensation or even emotion that you're carrying with you on the left side. And let this be a place without judgment, but just painting a picture and being honest with ourselves about how we're showing up and letting that guide us in what care we might need to bring in to our shapes today. And then as you're ready, just gently go back to the crown of the head and move to the right side of the body, taking that same body scan, not making any comparisons, but just noting the tension, the sensations, the emotions that are being held in the right side of the body. And also making note, too, on both sides, where you feel a bit more open. And then as you finish the right side, bring the two halves back together. Just notice how you feel as a whole. Do the two sides, do they balance each other out? Or are you noticing that things just might seem a little off balance? So again, just gently noting that and keeping that in mind as we move through our shapes today. Use this time to set an intention or focus for your practice. Maybe it's something that drew you to your mat this evening, or maybe it's from something that you learned during the initial body scan. And if nothing comes to mind, I offer up an intention and focus of breath. So continuing to breathe gently in and out through the nose, and let every movement connect with the breath. Using the breath to guide you, and letting it influence the shapes. We'll take one more full breath in here, and a full breath out. Gently blink open your eyes as you're ready on an exhale, and then slowly remove any props that you may have been seated on. And just set that off to the side. We'll come on to our knees and make our way into a child's pose, drawing the hips toward the heels. Keeping this an active child's pose, cupcake the fingers. Let the forehead rest on the mat. And as you cupcake the fingers, you may feel as if the armpits are lifting off. Don't worry so much about the hips needing to reach the heels. Just gently feel that pull if there's still some space in there. Take 3 strong and deep breaths here, continually breathing into the belly and out through the heart. So letting our practice be centered around our heart, letting our breath move and open up that space. To help us focus on the breath, if that was your intention, or just to help you stay focused, you may consider thinking to yourself, inhale and exhale as you slowly and controlled complete those actions. We'll take one more full breath in here and full breath out. Slowly on your inhale, lift your hips above your knees. And then as you exhale, reach your arms out further, drawing your heart to the earth, coming into a puppy pose. You'll feel probably a deeper dip from the mid to the upper back. Chin can stay on the mat, or you can draw your forehead here. Breathing here. You do want the booty in the air. 3 strong breaths. On your next inhale, slowly keeping your forearms on the ground, slide forward to your Sphinx pose, completing the pose through your exhale. Shoulders will draw down the back. Heart will shine forward, crown of the head reaching up. Press the tops of the feet into the earth. Taking a deep breath in here and a deep breath out. Inhale. Exhale. If you'd like, take a breath in. Maybe lift a little higher. As you exhale, look over your left shoulder. Inhale, come through center. And then exhale, look over the right shoulder. Move at your pace, letting the inhales lift the heart. Let the exhale gently turn the head. Just a slight twist in the spine. Take one more full round, inhaling through center. Exhale, look over. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back through center. Really press the tops of the feet onto the ground and place your hands underneath your shoulders, lowering yourself down. Exhale. As you inhale, slowly lift up, baby cobra. Keep the weight in the fingertips light. Use the muscles in the back. Exhale, gently lower. One more here. Inhale, lift up, maybe straighten your arms a little bit more, elbows in. Exhale, slowly lower. Keeping the hands underneath the shoulders and the tops of the feet on the earth. Inhale to press up, high plank. So we're still on the shoelace side of the foot in our funkier high plank. Pressing here, draw the low ribs in together and breathe. Shoulders stacked directly over the wrists for 3. For 2. Take a breath in. As you exhale, curl the toes under and downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths of stillness here. And just note how the body feels after that initial movement. And then after those 2 breaths, if stillness calls to you, stay here. Or if movement calls to you, start to add some in. So maybe pedaling out the feet. Maybe taking bigger circles. Do what feels good to you. Guiding yourself back to stillness. Take 2 strong breaths in your downward facing dog. Feel your hips lift into the air, heels press toward the earth, crown of the head down toward the ground. Inverted V. On your next inhale, look forward between the hands, bend your knees softly. Then as you exhale, bring your feet outside your hands and sit low, Malasana, Yogi Squat. So you can stay a little bit lower, or you can come up a little bit more, depending on how you feel today. Keep the weight into the heels. Crown of the head is lifting up. Use your elbows to gently open up the thighs. Keep breathing. Find the joy in the moment and see if you can remove any tension from your face that you might be feeling. We'll take one more full breath in. Full breath out. As you inhale, place your hands on the mat. And as you exhale, slowly bend forward. Standing forward fold. Let the head hang nice and heavy. Generous bend in the knees. Maybe rock from side to side, forward and back. Feel your feet on the earth and find your center of gravity here. Interlace your fingers and then just gently place your hands on your neck, letting the weight of your hips drift over the ankles. Keep your knees pointed forward so they start to buckle in. Just bring a little bit more weight back. Gentle pressure on the back of the head to help us release the neck. Take one more breath in here and breath out. Release your hands, and as you inhale, slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Nice and slow. Let the knees be the very last thing to straighten, and the head be the very last thing to stack on top of the body. As you inhale, bring your feet about hips width distance apart, coming into Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. As you inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Gaze will follow your thumbs. Exhale, hinge, fold forward, flat back as you come all the way down. Inhale, lengthen, long spine. Exhale, fold. Half sun A to start. Inhale, reach up, look up, maybe reverse swan dive. Exhale, draw it back down, bow low. Inhale, lengthen. Hands can stay on the ground or hands can come to your shins. Exhale, fold. Gaze comes in towards the belly button. Inhale, root to rise. Reach up, look up. Exhale to bow low. We'll take two more here. Gaze inward. Inhale, lengthen. Gaze is 6 inches in front of you. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reach up, look up, reverse swan dive or straight through center. Last time on your own. On your next exhale, hinge and bow low. Inhale, lengthen, long spine. Exhale, left foot steps back, low runner's lunge. Pause here for one round of breath. Grounding down through the right big toe mound, pressing through your left heel. Left hand stays planted. Inhale, right arm will peel, open up. Keep your right hip drawing back. Take a breath in. As you exhale, plant your hands. Downward facing dog. Use your core to lift your foot to avoid a scraping sound. On your inhale, roll forward, high plank. As you exhale, bring your right hand to your left shin or ankle, downward dog twist. Use your hand to help you look underneath the armpit or just secretly check to make sure you put on deodorant. It's a good check. Take a breath and inhale, roll forward, high plank. Exhale, regular downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in here. And a deep breath out. 2 more breaths. On your inhale, big toes to touch, right leg lifts to the sky, 5 toes pointed down to the earth. As you exhale, step your right foot in between your hands. Left hand plants. Inhale, simple twist, look up at your thumb, shoulders stack. Exhale, left foot comes up to meet the right, bow low. Inhale, reach up, look up. Let's flow, exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lengthen, long spine, belly button slightly goes toward your midline. Exhale, right foot steps back, low runner's lunge. Pause in this first one here. Establish your footing, ground down through the left, big toe mount. Send your right leg nice and straight, don't stick the booty in the air. Right hand plants, inhale, reach up, look up, simple twist. Pause for the exhale for this first one. Left hip draws back, inhale. Exhale, lift your left foot, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward like a wave in the ocean, high plank. Exhale, left hand, right ankle, shin or calf. Down dog twist. Let's pause here in this first one. Keep your shoulders as square to the front of the mat as you can. Use the hand to pull the heart underneath the armpit. Inhale, roll forward, high plank. And then exhale, regular, downward facing dog. 3 of your breaths. Always an option to lower down into a child's pose. Let yourself take the rest as you need it. The rest is part of self-care. Always meet yourself where you're at, not forcing anything that doesn't feel right. We'll take one more full breath in here. And full breath out. Big toes to touch. Inhale, left leg floats, 5 toes pointed down. Exhale, step your left foot in between your hands. Right hand plants. Inhale, left arm reaches up, simple twist. Exhale, forward fold, right foot meets the left. Inhale, reach up, look up. And let's take that one more time each side. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left foot steps back. Establish your low runner's lunge. Left hand plants. Inhale, right arm reaches up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, high plank. Exhale, down dog twist, right hand to left leg. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Big toes to touch. Inhale, right leg floats. Exhale, low runner's lunge. Inhale, right arm reaches up, simple twist. Exhale, bow low. Inhale, reach up, look up, last time, left side. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, long spine. Exhale, right foot back, low runner's lunge. Inhale, left arm reaches up, right hand plants. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, high plank. Exhale, down dog twist. Left hand, right calf, shin or ankle. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. 3 breaths. Big toes to touch. Inhale, left leg will float. Exhale, low runner's lunge. Right hand plants. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, bow low. Inhale, reach up, look up. And exhale, Tadasana mountain pose. Pausing here in your Tadasana. Breathing gently, breathing slowly. Let's take a cleansing breath together. Inhale. Exhale, open the mouth, let it go. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, breath in. And breath out. Sealing back up your lips. Taking gentle breaths in and out through the nose. Feel the crown of the head reach up toward the sky. Feel your feet underneath you, pressing evenly through all four corners. Blinking open the eyes if they were closed, sitting the hips back. Inhale, chair pose. Reach the arms up or bring them to your heart space. Tailbone tucks down if you have a curve in the low back, and do keep the low ribs in together. Breathe. Weight is in the heel, so if you look down at your feet, you should be able to see all big toes. And maybe there's a little bit more weight in the heels that you're able to lift your toes off for a brief moment. Sit a little deeper, take a breath in. Breath out. I know chair is everybody's favorite, but we got this. This is only temporary, and we can let it go. Bring your hands to your heart space. Inhale, sitting in your chair, find length in the spine. As you exhale, twist over to your left. All right, so twisting over to our left. Couple of options. Try and hook your elbow as far on the thigh as you can. If you can get a little bit farther, if you can come and without losing the integrity, maybe you bring your armpit. Think about using the hands to help you lift your heart up to the ceiling. Gaze will come to your back, elbow, and shoulder. Don't let the neck droop. Keep it nice and long, in line with the rest of the spine. From here, as you inhale, start to lift your right foot off. Let it hover. So I know, a little balancing challenge. That's okay. You fall out of it. Smile at yourself and go, I got this. So we're lifting off our right foot. Take a breath in. As you exhale, slowly and controlled, step it back. Revolve lunge. Always the option to bring your hands down, establish the lunge, or even drop the knee to focus on the twist to start. If you feel ready, you can lift the back leg up. Breathe here. You got this. We'll take one more breath in and breath out. Actually, let's take one more full breath here. My bad. Deep breath in, lengthen. Exhale. Inhale. As you exhale, slowly open up, warrior two. Our back foot becomes parallel with the short edge of the mat. Back toes pointed toward the long edge of the mat. Knee, left knee, stacked over the left ankle. Breathe. If you do have to make any additional movements, try not to fidget, but if you do, do so mindfully. As you can see, my nose is all sorts of itchy right now. Gaze gently out over the middle finger. We're going to be here for 3 to 4 breaths. So think to yourself, inhale and exhale. Keep the front thigh rotating open. This is an external hip opener for this hip. As you inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior. Let your back hand rest lightly on the back leg. Gaze will come up. Don't let the neck droop again. Keep it nice and long. Let the movement come from the torso as your knee guides you forward. Press evenly through both feet. Take a breath in. As you exhale, extended side angle. Start by bringing your left forearm to your left thigh. Right arm will reach straight up. So see if you can breathe here. If you're like, yeah, it's super easy to breathe here, consider bringing your hand over your head a bit more. Shoulder draws down the back to help you shine the heart forward. If that feels good, maybe you bring your hand down to the ground or to a block. Don't let the side body collapse where you can't breathe. Keep it lengthening forward. Slowly as you inhale, come on up, warrior two. Exhale, sink just a little deeper, you got this. On your next inhale, bring both sets of toes forward, high lunge. Lift off your back heel, keep the knee nice and straight without locking it too much, slight micro bend. Press through the back heel without letting it touch the ground, as best you can. Breathe. Both hips square forward. Arms reach up. Inhale. Exhale. Nice job. Inhale, frame your front foot, bunny hop the back foot in. And exhale, fold, pyramid pose. So this can be a great place for your blocks. Draw the earth closer to you. Make sure your feet are on two separate train tracks here. And let the spine be nice and long as you fold over the left leg. Again, slight micro bend in the knee. It's okay if it's a little bit deeper of a bend too, but do feel the stretch along the hamstring. Press evenly through both feet, but maybe put a little bit more weight into your right foot. Draw right hip forward, left hip back. Planting both hands on the ground, or maybe keeping them on your blocks. As you inhale, you're going to step back, maybe even hop the foot back, three-legged dog. So really lift your left foot. We'll try that transition again. So step your left foot in between. Find your pyramid pose. Think about engaging your core here. Hands plant on the ground or on your blocks. Inhale. Exhale. All right, here we go. Inhale. Left foot reaches back. Three-legged dog. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bring your left knee to your right tricep. Hold. Stay here, or as you inhale, kick your left foot underneath the body. And then open up, fallen triangle. Lift your hips up. Gaze will come up. 3 breaths. Inhale, bring the hand back down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Draw your knees down to the earth. Sit your hips back, child's pose. Let's take several breaths here. Breathing, recentering. Slowing down. On your next inhale, curl your toes under. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. As you exhale, step in between your hands, forward fold. Inhale, reach up, look up, and exhale, Tadasana. One more side. You got this. Again, try and find the joy in each shape. Even if your thighs are shaking and you're like, oh, I'm struggling to catch my breath. It's okay. You got this. You're not alone. Here we go. Inhale, chair pose. Keep both hips pointed forward. So maybe bring your hands to your hips. Draw both hip points forward and pull your hips back slightly to bring the weight into the heels. Yeah. Find your nice tall spine. Breathe. As you inhale, bring your hands to your heart space. Keep your hips pointed forward. And then as you exhale, you're going to twist. So one way to note if your hips are pointed forward is if your knees are doing the same thing. So if one's jetting out in front of the other, you're likely going to have a pop in the hip. So tuck it back, knees together, and twist from here. Bring your hand to your back, and maybe notice if the hips are popping up, and just use that to help you level yourself out. I know it makes it more challenging, but we're going to use our breath to focus. As you inhale, start to bring all the way to your right foot, lifting your left foot off. Even if the toes stay on the ground, that's still lifting. Then on your next inhale, with control, gently set it back. Revolve lunge. You can always bring your hands down, establish the footing, or even draw your knee down and come back into a lunge. Breathe. If you've drawn the knee down, feel free to stay here or see about lifting up. Gaze will come to your back elbow, that line between shoulder and elbow. Oops. Really find your footing in the right foot. Take one more full breath in here and out. Inhale. Let's open up. Warrior two. Sink a little deeper here. So right knee stacked over right ankle. Back foot parallel with the short edge of the mat. Toes pointed toward the long edge of the mat of your back foot. Gaze out over the middle finger and breathe. Feel the front thigh rotate open. On your next inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior. Again, make this movement from the hip and the torso, not from the neck. Back hand's gonna rest lightly. There's gonna be this urge to grip your hand. If you're doing that, lighten up a bit. Reestablish and come back down. Let this movement really come from the upper body. Let your front knee pull you forward. Take a breath in. Exhale, extended side angle. So start by bringing your right forearm down, left arm straight up. Establish the breath. You're like, yeah, this is great. Consider then, maybe, if you want the other challenge, bringing your left arm over the head. Stay here, or if you'd like, bring your hand down to the ground or to the block. If at any of these points, the breath starts to go, or it starts to feel constricted, stop and find one of the other options. We want to be able to breathe. If you can't breathe, there's no point in doing the shapes. The shapes make more room for the breath. And also you could pass out, and that just does not sound like fun. On your next inhale, come on up. Warrior two. Exhale, sink just a little deeper. Inhale, high lunge. Turn both sets of toes toward the short edge of the mat. Whew. If you need to straighten that front leg, go for it. You might be feeling that strain, and then sink. You got this. Press through your back heel. Again, slight micro bend in the back knee, but don't let it completely drop. If you need to let the knee come down, then let it fully come down. Take a breath in, breath out. Inhale. Exhale, frame the front foot, step the back foot in. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, full pyramid pose. So feet are on two separate train tracks. Slight bend in your right leg. Great place for blocks for the hands. You've got this. Press the outer edge of your left foot. Planting your hands on your next breath out. Inhale, step back, three-legged dog. That little hop's okay, it can be fun, that's why it's there. And then as you exhale, draw your right knee to your left tricep. Stay here, or as you inhale, kick the foot under the body. And then as you exhale, lift up, fall in triangle. Send your hips up, press through the hand. Breathe. Inhale to come back through center. Three-legged dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Draw your knees down to your mat. This time let your hands rest by your side. Child's pose. Let's take 5 breaths here. And then we're going to begin to slowly come on up. And we're going to move into our yin shape. So hopefully you feel a bit more open in places, or you've discovered, or you've discovered some places that might actually be just as tense or need a little extra love. So our first shape today is going to be caterpillar pose. This might be a great one to sit up on your block, a pillow, or a blanket. I recommend the pillow or the blanket just for a little softness. To lift the hips once again above the knee so you can really find the interior tilt. You can always place your pillow underneath your knees here. That might help you get a bit more into the low back. But we do want to find a stretch along the hamstrings as well, really thinking about our legs. So sit up nice and tall, inhale. And then as you exhale, start to walk your hands out towards your feet. Don't actively reach towards your feet. And then as you feel you can't go anymore, start to fold forward. Let the head hang nice and heavy. So if you need it more in the low back, the pillow underneath the knees might feel really good. If you want it more in the hamstrings, maybe remove the pillow, sitting up on your block or your blanket. And breathe here. We're going to be here for 5 minutes. So slowly, incrementally, work to settle in. And I know 5 minutes sounds really long, but in yin, we really want to practice 3 main principles. Those 3 main principles being time. It's that time that's going to allow us to get into the deeper parts of the body. So in our more yang part of the practice, our first part of the practice, we're working into the muscles. Here, we're allowing ourselves to get into that connective tissue and into the joints. We always want to practice finding the appropriate depth for our body. So that means allowing ourselves to be where we're at, using the time to slowly ease into the shape. And then finally, stillness. This is something that may be the most challenging part of the practice, because we don't really practice stillness. We're like prized. We're like, we gotta go, we gotta go. That's what is expected of us. So as we concentrate on the breath, coming back to reminding ourselves of inhale and exhale, we can really begin to slow down and embrace the stillness. If you do need to make movement, that's fine, but try and make it mindfully. So if you need to itch your nose, be like, I'm itching my nose. If you need to readjust, just note to yourself, I am readjusting. Let that be the focus. And then find your breath. I'm going to leave you for the remainder of the 3 minutes of the shape in silence, letting you find your breath and starting to embrace the stillness. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And the next inhale, slowly begin to walk your way back up. And sometimes in these moments, as we've taken forward fold, we may need to take a counter movement, just a slight back bend. So maybe bring your hands behind you, lift the heart, drop the head back. Feel free to twist. And then this is a great place to come into our next shape. We're going to come into a half shoelace here, really working into the IT band as we take this movement. So we'll start on our left side. We'll bring our right knee across the top of the body. So just get it as snug as you can. It does not need to be perfectly stacked one on top of the other. It doesn't need to be like perfectly connected to the leg. We can use blocks and other props to help us close any gaps. So don't worry about that. From here, just take your left foot and move it towards center. I like to actually pick it up with my hand, but that's up to you. And then you'll fold forward from here, hopefully feeling this on the outside of the leg into the IT. So another option too is if you're sitting up on your block or your blanket, you may consider lifting up the knee with another block as well. So if you're on one block, take your other block, place it directly underneath the knee. If you're on your pillow, take your blanket, place it directly underneath the knee, just to keep things a little bit even, especially if there's any knee concerns. And then fold. The more you let the head hang heavy, the more that's going to change the intensity along the side of the leg. So for a little less intensity, maybe you hold your head in your hand or even bring your block up and place it on your knee. And use that. If there's any gaps, again, bring your towels, your blocks, your blankets to help with that. So you feel supported. Like you don't have to hold anything up that doesn't need to be held up. So as we get into other various parts of the body, we're going to be here for 5 minutes. You might start to notice how it feels to sit in the discomfort. And that can be really challenging for us to sit in discomfort, especially when it comes to stretching or even our emotions. So if emotions start to come up that are uncomfortable, judge them, be like, am I in a safe space where I'm okay to sit in this? Or do I need to put that aside for right now and then use other resources at my disposal later on to feel safe to be able to sit in that discomfort? But try not to shy away from it if you're in a place where you feel safe that you can sit in the discomfort. Sometimes it's best for us to sit in that discomfort because depending on where we're at, it can help us hold space for somebody else who has been holding space for us for so long. So we can practice that here so we can share that with the rest of the world. I'm going to let you be, and I'll bring you out of it in the next 4 minutes. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Slowly walk your way back on up. Straighten out both legs here. Bend the knees back and forth. Windshield wiper feet. So opening up the hips a bit. And we're going to move on to the other side when you're ready. So straighten your left, we're working into the right side, so our right leg is going to be straightened. Our left knee is going to be bent. And then start to scooch that right foot by picking it up or just moving it, or just scooching it over a little bit more toward the center of the body. And then fold as you're ready. So again, feel free to continue to sit up on things, especially if you're feeling a lot of tension in the knee. Stick something up underneath there and elevate the hips. That's really going to help try and alleviate that. And breathe here. So ease into it. We've got 5 minutes. Try not to let the mind wander. I know it's so easy, and when it does happen, that's okay. Approach it with love and compassion. Say thank you to the thoughts, and then gently come back to naming the breath. Inhale and exhale. As you're ready, slowly start to come on. Taking what movement feels good. Maybe taking just some gentle neck stretches, neck rolls, as you're ready. So for our final shape this evening, we're going to come into a supported butterfly. The supported butterfly is going to help us just open up the heart a little bit more since we didn't take a back bend in our other asanas. We took little back bends, but this will find a little bit of a deeper back bend. And then we're going to the external rotation of the hips. So I do recommend having your yoga blocks or your yoga block equivalents. If you don't have yoga blocks, books may not be so great for this, but that's okay. Grab another couple of pillows. You can always stack them up, or maybe just use your one pillow and a couple of blankets. It's really up to you and how much you want to open up the heart. So one block for the head, I would probably be keeping mine on the highest level, but you can always come down a level if you'd like to the medium level. And then one block for in between the shoulder blades on the medium level. I like to put my block directly in between the shoulder blades, so I will keep it more at a vertical way. But if you want, you can put it directly underneath the points of the shoulder blades in a horizontal fashion. So decide what feels best for you. And just take a minute as you figure this out. You might have to readjust the head because you want to do your best to keep it on the ground as much as possible, as long as it's supporting you. And then take your pillow, if you'd like, or your yoga bolster, and place it over your yoga blocks. Scoot your butt up to the edge of the pillow and bring the soles of the feet to touch. And then slowly come on back. So you want your head, the middle of your head, to rest on your top block. And you want to make sure that the center block, I'm going to adjust mine just a little bit, is in between the shoulder blades. And let the arms just rest by the sides. So make any adjustments. This feels like it's too much, not only physically, but emotionally. Maybe come down a level. Remove the blocks. Maybe just focus on the pillow. All right, take your time. We're going to be here for 5 minutes. The remainder of this portion before we move into Savasana. So close your eyes and breathe. slow breath in and a slow breath out. Just gently lift yourself up. Moving any props off to the side. Coming onto your back or onto your belly for Savasana. Find a resting pose. If you're on your back, maybe you take your pillow and you place it underneath your knees. Try and keep your head on the ground here, lengthening slightly through the neck. If you're on your belly, feel free to rest one cheek to the mat. Wherever you're at, take a deep, slow breath in. And exhale to let it go. You are here. Full and complete rest. Full and complete stillness. Let the mind soften. Allow the roof of the mouth to lift up. The jaw release from the hinges. Let the tongue relax in the bottom of the mouth. Start to truly let go. Begin to invite some gentle movement back into the body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Get your arms and your legs long. As you're ready, maybe take a full body stretch. Taking your time, no rush. Just slowly and gently find your way to a comfortable seat at the top of the mat. Let your hands rest gently in your lap, or the hands draped over the knees, or up to receive the energy. And as you come to this position, bring your hands over your heart. And just notice how you feel. As you go into the rest of your evening and into your weekend, can you set an intention to lead from the heart and lead with love to all those you may meet, and hopefully social distance with. And how can we hold space for somebody else this week so they don't have to hold it for us? Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace, Peace, Peace. Thank you all so much for joining me on this Friday evening. I hope you have a great rest of your evening and a fabulous weekend. I hope to see you on Sunday at 5:30 for our Yin Yoga practice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great evening. Bye, families.